Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing an oil change on my 2010 Dodge Ram 1500 with the 5.7L Hemi. I think it's getting close to 10,000 kilometers since my last oil change, so figured tonight I'd take the time to change it and show you guys how it's done. Doesn't take too much to do it. What do we got here? You're going to need a ratchet with a 13mm socket on it. I think it's 6.5 quarts or liters, wherever you are, of 5W20 oil, your filter, a funnel, maybe a hammer and a screwdriver. I don't have a filter wrench, so we'll see if we need that. And a couple rags are always handy. Also gonna need a pail to dispose the old oil in when it's coming out. And you don't need them, but I also have a couple ramps there, so we'll see if we need them. Makes life a lot easier, so I think I'm gonna use them and we'll go from there. First step is you're gonna wanna let your truck warm up for 5 to 10 minutes to get the oil up to temperature. So we'll go do that. There, we'll let that run for 5 or 10 minutes and we'll come back and check it out later. 5 minutes now. I'm gonna drive it up onto the ramps and get ready to drain the oil. AJ wants to say hi. Say hi, AJ. Good boy. Now you're gonna want to pop your hood. Come around and open up the latch. And first things first, you're gonna want to take off your oil cap there, so when you take the drain plug out, the oil can breathe and it can get out without splashing around all over the place and drain out a little bit quicker. I also like to pull the dipstick out just a little bit so that it can breathe out of there too. Never hurts. One thing that I've learned over the years too is before you start draining your oil, maybe make sure you can spin your filter off by hand or get it loose anyway before. And that way you know for sure that before you start draining your oil, you can take your filter off later on. So now we're underneath the truck. Here's our drain pan and our drain plug. Take our 13mm socket and our ratchet, break it loose. And the rest should spin off by hand. There we go. Sorry guys, I couldn't really get a shot of it, but while I was waiting for the oil to drain out of the motor, I went ahead and, you can see it there, poked a hole in the oil filter. It's kind of tricky to get it out of there without getting oil all over yourself, so at least when we go to spin it off and take it off, it should be dry and empty now. So now while we're still waiting for the oil to drain, the filter is now pretty well empty. So we'll go ahead and take the rest of it off. And there's a lot of oil coming out of that. Alright, now it's actually all out. So we should be able to take it off no problem now. There we go, just like that. We've got AJ being a fool over there. Alrighty, so now while we're still waiting, we can take some new fresh oil, go ahead and coat the seal on our new filter. Just like that. Now before we go to put the new filter on, take one of your rags and just clean off around the filter housing up there. Make sure it's free and clean of any debris or anything that could get in the way of the seal and the filter when you screw it on. And then take your new filter, wiggle it on up there. Get it started. Make sure there's no wires or nothing else in the way. Just put it on the rest of the way. And just get it hand tight and then give it just a little snug at the end. Just to make sure it's on there good. But hand tight should be plenty. Also, before you get out from underneath here, just wipe off the oil that you spilt maybe. So that when you do start the truck and you get under here checking for leaks, you don't see a bunch of oil everywhere. And you'll be able to see the leak easier that way if there is one. Alrighty, so the oil is pretty much done draining. It's just down to a slow drip there now. So we'll go ahead and throw the plug back in. Make sure it's all clean. And then take your ratchet again and your 13mm socket. Doesn't have to be super tight, but make sure it's on there snug. And once again, clean up around it. That way we'll be able to see if there's any leaks later on. Alrighty, so now we take our funnel, put it in the engine, start dumping our oil in. This is only 4.5 liters, so we can dump the whole thing in. There, we'll go ahead and give that a check. Clean off our dipstick first. Dip it in. Still a little short. Try that. Alrighty, so right now we're right in the bottom of the safe zone. Probably going to keep it there for now just because the truck's on a bit of an incline at the ramps. So we'll put everything back on, we'll fire it up and take it off the ramps, check for leaks and then take it off the ramps. And then see if we need to add any more later. Alrighty, so now we're back in the truck. And another force of habit, whenever I change my oil, I always take the key out of the ignition just in case somebody ever came to the truck when I was gone or something went to start it up. So now we're back in here. Go ahead, fire it up. Make sure you got oil pressure right off the bat. There we go. Now we'll get out and come around.
and back it off the ramps now.
So I've owned this truck for almost 6 years now, and I've been doing the oil changes ever since I got it. And I've always used the Castrol Edge full synthetic 5W20. Never had an issue with the motor. Everything's always gone good. And I've also always used the Mobil One M1 210 filter. No rhyme or reason why. That's just the first one I ever got, and been using it ever since, and it's never given me any issues. So I'm gonna keep rolling with it until she blows. Alrighty, so it's been about 5 or 10 minutes there now. I'll go ahead and check the oil again. Yeah, we're a little low now, so we'll put some more in. Check. And we're in the safe there, but I'll get a little bit more. So there we go. I don't know if you guys can really see that or not, but anyway, we're right in the middle of the safe zone, so I'm going to call that good. I never like to bring the level right to the top of the dipstick, to the full mark of the dipstick whenever I'm changing the oil right off the bat, because yeah, it's been sitting for 5 or 10 minutes, but there's some more oil that could leak down into that pan that if you checked it in the morning or later on tonight, that it'd probably be above where you wanted it to be. So I always try to put it right kind of smack dab in the middle of the safe area. So now you can go ahead, put your cap back on. Always make sure that you properly dispose of your oil. So there, now that we've changed our oil, we can go ahead and reset the oil life in the truck. So turn the key to the on position and push the gas pedal to the floor 3 times. Now turn the key back off. And when you fire up your truck, you shouldn't see the change oil notification anymore. Got lots of notifications for other things though. So there we go. Everything's gone. We're all set. Oil's changed. Like I said, I've always used that Castrol full synthetic oil. Never had an issue with it. I've had this truck probably since there was about, I think 170,000 kilometers. So it's been a pretty good truck, lasted a long time, and still runs pretty good. So plan on running it for a few years to come. I appreciate everybody watching. Leave a like, comment if you have any questions, and we'll see you in the next one.